A book was once known by many. It was read by early Christians. It was quoted by leaders of the church. Then, it disappeared from most Bibles. This was not an accident. It was a conscious decision. The book contained ideas that were seen as dangerous. They challenged the teachings of those in power. This is the story of that book. It is the story of why the Book of Enoch was hidden. It is a story about knowledge control, the power of words to shape what we believe. Its disappearance tells us as much about the people who hid it as it does about the text itself. Welcome, and thank you for watching. We are here to explore this mystery. We will look at why this book was removed. We will ask who made that choice. We will uncover what the book contained that was so controversial. It is about how history is written. It is about who gets to decide what is true. This journey takes us back to the roots of faith. It takes us to a time when many different ideas about God and the world existed side by side. It shows us a moment when one set of ideas was chosen and others were left behind in the shadows. If you are drawn to hidden history, this story is for you. If you are curious about forbidden texts and the questions they raise, then you have found the right place. The past is filled with voices that have been silenced. It is filled with books that were set aside. Learning about them helps us understand our own world more clearly. It shows us that our history is more complex than we often think. The story of Enoch is a powerful example of a lost stream of thought. It is a reminder that what we accept as final was once the subject of intense debate and struggle. The book's journey from acceptance to rejection is a quiet drama. It unfolded over centuries. It was not a single event, but a slow turning of the tide. The book was a mirror. It reflected a vision of the cosmos that was wild and unsettling. It showed a world where the lines between heaven and earth were thin. Angels could fall. Humans could learn divine secrets. This was a world of powerful forces and cosmic conflict. Enoch is a mysterious figure in ancient traditions. He appears only briefly in the book of Genesis. The text says he walked with God. He was no more because God took him. This short, cryptic passage sparked immense curiosity. For many ancient readers, this was not the end of his story. It was the beginning. They wondered where he went. They asked what he saw. Ancient writers began to tell stories about his journey. They imagined him traveling through the heavens. He met angels. He learned divine secrets. These stories were eventually gathered into a longer work we now call the Book of Enoch. This book gave a detailed account of his heavenly travels. It described a man chosen by God, not a prophet to crowds, but a scribe who went to heaven. He was shown the workings of the universe. He saw the storehouses of the sun. He saw the storehouses of the moon. He learned the secrets of the weather. He learned the secrets of the stars. The Book of Enoch was not just a fringe text. Its ideas were woven into the fabric of early Jewish and Christian thought. Its influence can be seen in other writings from the period. Some scholars believe its themes and language appear in the New Testament itself. The Epistle of Jude, for example, directly quotes a prophecy from the Book of Enoch. It speaks of the Lord coming with thousands of his holy ones to execute judgment. This shows that, for at least some early Christians, Enoch's words were considered authoritative. They were treated like scripture, even if the book was not formally part of every collection. The book helped early believers think about the end times. Its visions of a final judgment were vivid and detailed. It described a messianic figure, the Son of Man, who would judge the world. This language is very similar to titles Jesus uses for himself in the Gospels. The book's apocalyptic visions shaped how people imagined the end of history. It gave them a story about a great future battle between good and evil. It provided a powerful narrative that explained the presence of suffering and promised its ultimate defeat. The book's imagery also enriched early Christian art and imagination. Its descriptions of angels and their hierarchies helped form the celestial court that would appear in later theology. The idea of specific angels with names and roles was expanded in Enoch's visions. Michael Gabriel. It gave people a more concrete picture of the unseen world. The most controversial parts of the Book of Enoch are about the Watchers, who the book describes as a group of angels. They were sent to watch over humanity, but they did not fulfill their duty. They saw the beauty of human women. They lusted after them. They made a pact to descend to earth. They took wives for themselves. This act of disobedience was the beginning of great corruption. It was a violation of the divine order. The Watchers abandoned their heavenly station for earthly pleasure. Their fall from grace set in motion a chain of events that would fill the world with chaos and sin. The Watchers did not just mix with humanity. They also taught forbidden knowledge. One angel taught how to make swords. One taught knives. One showed people shields. One taught breastplates. One introduced the art of war. Another taught the use of cosmetics. Another taught precious stones. Others revealed sorcery. Others revealed astrology. Others revealed the signs of the moon. These were not gifts meant for humanity. They were secrets of heaven shared irresponsibly. The book says, this knowledge corrupted human society and led it away from God. This story provided a powerful explanation for the origin of evil. The Book of Enoch did more than just tell a story about fallen angels. It presented a different model of divine authority. In the book, knowledge comes directly from heavenly beings to chosen individuals like Enoch. This knowledge is not mediated through a formal priesthood or a set of established laws. It is a direct revelation. Enoch travels to heaven and learns the secrets of the cosmos firsthand. He becomes a scribe of righteousness. This idea suggested that divine wisdom could be accessed outside of established religious structures. It implied that personal revelation was a valid path to truth, a concept that could undermine the authority of earthly leaders. The book also spoke of a complex heavenly court. It described thrones, dominions, powers in the heavens. It depicted a cosmic government with judges and rulers. While some imagery aligned with other Jewish and Christian texts, Enoch's version was exceptionally detailed. It gave a full picture of a celestial bureaucracy, which could be interpreted in ways that challenged the simple, singular authority of God as taught by the Church. How did the Church decide which books belonged in the Bible? This process is known as the formation of the canon. It was not a single event. It was a long and complicated process that took place over several centuries. There was no one meeting where a king or pope simply decreed which books were in and which were out. Instead, it was a gradual consensus that formed in different Christian communities. Bishops, theologians, local churches. They debated and discussed which texts were the most reliable and authoritative guides to their faith. This was a human process: history, culture, politics. To make these decisions, church leaders asked several key questions about each book. One of the most important was apostolic origin. An apostle. A close companion of an apostle. They believed that those who knew Jesus, his immediate followers, were the most trustworthy sources. The removal of the Book of Enoch was not about its lack of value. It was removed because it had too much of a certain kind of value. Its visions were powerful, its ideas were compelling, and that was precisely the problem. The book was set aside because it challenged belief. It questioned the simple lines that leaders were trying to draw. It blurred the boundary between heaven and earth. It blurred the boundary between angel and human. It blurred the boundary between divine knowledge and forbidden magic. The choice to exclude it was ultimately about control. It was about managing meaning.